Singles, I'm coming for you again. Why is it that you continue to play the waiting game with your life? If you don't know what I mean, the waiting game is when you got 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, and he hasn't married you yet. When do you stop playing the waiting game? You are in limbo, waiting for someone to decide if you qualify. You heard me. Listen to me, ladies. You are simply waiting for qualification. You are actually trying to earn your badge to become his wife. Excuse me? Why is it that you're moving out of fear so badly that you cannot see that every day that go by, you're one day older and one day further away from the life that you could be living? You guys heard me, right? You are one day further away from the life you can be living. Obviously not with him, with someone who can appreciate you. I'm just saying. I am so tired. I was in Guyana 3 weeks ago, and I spoke to about 70 women in a conference, and then I had a bunch of women that came and talked to me. And when I asked them, like, how long you've been dating this person, and they tell me 5, 10, 15 years, or my mom been with my husband 20 years, but they not married. And then my daughter now, she's doing the same thing. Understand, this is not just about you. You're setting up your daughters to do the same. You're setting up your sons to do exactly what you're experiencing, and you don't like it. Yet still you're actually doing that for your kids. Why am I sitting around waiting on you to decide on me after 5, 7, 8 years? And do understand, ladies, there are couples that come together and say, hey babes, we need 2 more years, we need 3 more years, but at the end of that 3 years, this is what we're gonna do, and put a plan in place. And I am all for a plan, right? If you have a plan, if you have talked it through, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the woman who is sitting there resentful in her head because she's just like, why it hasn't happened yet? Why isn't he asking me? Every time a holiday come around, your heart is beating faster. You're holding your stomach hoping that this is the holiday. This is the birthday. This is the Valentine. This is the Christmas that he proposes. And it goes by again. And maybe next year. And maybe the next year. And there's suitors that will love to be with you. Love to be with you. But something is missing. What is that? Why is it that you're holding out? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's the fear. Fear that you have already invested. You have already invested so much time that now, how do you just leave it behind? How do you just start all over? Easy. You'll walk away and say, I'm worthy of it. I'm worthy of more than this. You walk away. And you say, oh, Michelle, that's easy to say. Yes, easy to say, but girls, guess what? Guess what? You know what's harder? To actually look 5 years later and say, I could have walked away 6 years ago. You got to understand, you are a queen. All you got to do, you are a queen. No one can dethrone you but you. All you got to do is fix the crown and say, I am deserving of so much more. And from this day on, listen, I love you. I love you. However, I love me a whole lot more. And in order for me to be okay with me, I need to see that you see me the way I see me. And that I'm valuable. Therefore, what is the plan? Are we moving towards the same thing or we're not? No, that's a hard conversation to have. But girls, let me tell you, when you have that conversation, you just straighten up your crown. Because now it's going to hurt if you have to walk away. But understand the pain that's there is not going to be like the pain that is literally living in your head every time you question yourself, because that's what it's doing. Whenever a next year or next holiday that passed that he does not ask you, but you're expecting him to ask you, you questioning who you are, why you are not worthy, why aren't you enough? And those are things that are constantly eating away at the fiber of who you are and your self-esteem. And that there's no guy in this face of the earth that actually should do that to you, deserve to do that to you. No God, no guy. God has created you ultimately to reap and actually experience love the way he have given love. But granted, we live in a sinful world, so we have the struggles. But understand, you have to come clear with who you are before you can actually negotiate on your behalf. So if you're looking to actually start negotiating on your behalf, I am going to tell you, start with self. Start with finding who you are, who you were created to be, who God has deemed you. And walk in that. And I promise you, everything else will start to repel itself, because it can't live in a place where it's not wanted. And you are going to harness that light that's in you, and you're going to start to shine in a way that you're going to know that the light is being shined on all the darkness that are around you. And if he happened to be dark because he's there for the game and not for you, then so be it. But ladies, find out who you are. Find you. And I promise you, you stop the darn waiting game. Your life is too precious to have anyone putting you on the back burner, waiting for what? For what? Nonsense. Ladies, no more. Stop the waiting game. Speak on your own behalf so that you can negotiate for yourself. If you want to hear more on how I feel about how singles should show up in their relationship, how married women should show up in their marriages, click the link below, subscribe, hit the bell so that you can be notified when I actually make a new video. All right, guys, be great. Leave your comments. I love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. I am Michelle Cumberbatch, your relationship coach. Now, for more content just like this, make sure to click and subscribe. Follow me on all my socials. And guys, that bell, click it and you will be notified whenever I drop something new. And that's twice a week. Like and comment. Thank you for watching.